Good morning, third grade online learners. Welcome to science class for October 5th, 2020. Please make sure that you took all your quizzes from last week, just one quiz last week, and make sure your journal entries were done from last week also. Um, Today, our topic, we are switching to invertebrates, and I know you guys don't have your books at home, but usually the first day of the lesson, we cover what is in the book. So I do have my teacher's manual with me, and if you had your book, your lesson would look like this. Invertebrates, mainly not yeah, this part right here. It's hard to see where I'm pointing. So I have a little bit extra in my teacher textbook is what I'm trying to say. But let's just go over what's in the third grade lesson, and then we will reinforce this throughout the week with websites. Invertebrates. The main idea of our lesson is the many kinds of invertebrates can be grouped according to their traits, so different features that they have. Traits of invertebrates. Most of the animals on Earth are invertebrates. An invertebrate is an animal that does not have a backbone. Some types of invertebrates live on land and some live in the water. So we learned in the previous lesson that 99 out of 100 creatures on Earth do not have a backbone. So here's some of those creatures. Sponges. Sponges are animals that move very little. Their bodies are full of holes. Sponges filter tiny bits of food from the water. So they live in water. And when you're trying to imagine what a sponge looks like that lives in the water, it might look a lot like the sponge that you would use in your house or to clean your car. Another category are sea stars and sea urchins. Sea stars and sea urchins have spiny body coverings. Neither animal has a head, but they both have a mouth. They move and capture food using tiny suction cups called tube feet. So again, here's a picture of what's in my book that will go over what we're learning. Sea stars and sea urchins and sponges. They are all invertebrates. On the next page, we learn about worms. Worms have soft, tube-shaped bodies with no legs, no eyes or shells. Worms live in water or in soil or even inside other animals. Corals and jellies are underwater animals. They have soft bodies, but some corals have hard outer skeletons. They have both mouths and arm-like parts called tentacles. When food floats by, these animals use their tentacles to grab it and put it into their mouths. Another category, snails and squids. Snails, squid, octopus, clams, oysters, and scallops all belong to the same group called mollusks. They have soft bodies. All of these animals, except for the octopus, have a shell. And here's what that looks like. I remember seeing a question on the study guide or a fact on the study guide that all of these animals except for the octopus have a shell. So if we're talking about snails and squids and clams. On the next page, this is what this page looks like, and there's quite a bit on this page. On this page, we have arthropods. And at the top, they show a butterfly. The largest group of invertebrates is the arthropod. An arthropod is an invertebrate that has jointed legs, a body with two or more sections, and a hard outer covering. The hard outer covering is called an exoskeleton. An exoskeleton protects and supports the animal. The next category are butterflies and ants. There are several groups of arthropods. The largest group includes butterflies and ants. These insects have 6 legs and 3 body sections. They may or may not have wings. Centipedes and millipedes. Centipedes and millipedes have segmented bodies. Centipedes have one pair of legs on each segment. Millipedes have two pair of legs on each segment. Spiders. Spiders have 8 jointed legs, 2 body sections, jaws, and fangs. Many spiders spin webs. Crabs, lobsters, and crayfish. Another group of arthropods includes crabs, lobsters, and crayfish. Many animals in this group have an exoskeleton that is very hard, like a shell. Again, here's what I was reading from what you would find in your textbook. On the last page, I have a visual summary which states that sponges are invertebrates. They have a body with holes and they move very little. Sea stars and sea urchins have hard spiny coverings and tube feet. Worms have a tube-shaped body, no legs, shells, or eyes. Jellies and corals have soft body tentacles. Snails and squids have soft body shells. Arthropods have jointed legs and their bodies are divided into sections and they have hard exoskeletons. Some of the review questions ask, why are insects, lobsters, and spiders all classified as arthropods? Another one asks, an invertebrate has a tube-like body. It does not have tentacles or legs. What can you conclude about the group it belongs to? And another one, lobsters and fish have gills, but these two animals are not related. Why do you think they might have the same body part? And sometimes there's some bonus sections in my book, stuff that you guys don't get to see. However, here it is. Here's some background from my book. It's typically not in the textbook for the students. Almost 80% of all animals are arthropods. About 3/4 of the arthropods are insects. All arthropods have a line of symmetry that divides their left and right sides. The exoskeleton provides protection for the body and limbs of the arthropod. The head has the sense organs and a mouth. The number of segments of arthropods vary greatly among the different groups. Tomorrow we'll continue our discussion about invertebrates and we will move on to what we can learn from our websites. And remember, your study guide is online if you want to start using it to get ready for the quiz. This Friday will be our quiz this week. Okay, nice to see everybody, at least virtually, and I will be in touch and I will see you tomorrow.